Close to home now, the Ugu Film Festival is back in Port Shepstone in KZN next weekend. Now this event gives emerging and experienced filmmakers opportunities to showcase their talent. Now, in its 8th year already, the festival is sponsored by the National Video and Film Foundation as well as the KZN Film Council. To tell us more, I'm joined in the studio by festival founder Senzo Zindela. Senzo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A film festival that survived 8 years. That takes some doing. How far do you think this festival has come from the time that it started?
Actually, it came from a very tough period where there was no support, no one believed that in that area something can happen. And I had to actually push hard so that people can believe that anything can happen, doesn't matter where you're from. So it's been very tough, but at the end, here we are. And yeah, we made it through, yeah. So
now the theme this year is through the lenses of South African women.
Yeah.
Why?
It is because actually when you look at our environment, everything is about women. Actually, women are the foundation. And if we respect women, or if we actually treat them accordingly, then at the end, there will be people who are telling stories that are building our nation. But if we do the opposite, then the opposite will happen. And we will end up having a rotten environment where we are also struggling at the end. But this year, the reason why we chose to actually explore women is because women, if they are empowered and respected all over, especially in the film industry, they will be the key that actually helps our community to grow from strength to strength, yeah.
Now, often there are stereotypes that women can only tell certain types of stories, or they can only make certain types of films. But one of the festival headliner is a Durban filmmaker called Claire Angelique. And she's made a thriller about a girl who goes on a killing spree on all those people who've done her wrong. I mean, that really shows that women can make action and thrill films as well, and not just soft films.
Yeah, actually, this film is actually, it fits to what we're trying to portray about women. That women need to be treated equal as men when it comes to creativity and work and all over. But now, all over the years, they've been actually stereotyped where women were perceived as people who are soft. So right now, this film actually fits to what we want to achieve and what we want to portray to the world about women, yeah.
And now I see here that for Angelique, or Claire Angelique, to make her film, she used the prize money from when she won the Young Artist of the Year for her piece called Palance of Bone. And she used that money to fund this micro-budget thriller. What are you hearing from filmmakers that come to your festival about how difficult it is to make films? Are they finding different ways now to fund their films?
Yeah, actually, there is a big problem in the film industry, where even if you are a man or a woman, there is no enough support. And what pushed people to actually do what Claire has done is what actually needs to be taken seriously. So there are other ways now. Everyone, actually, mostly filmmakers in KZN, we are pushing beyond boundaries and making sure that at the end we are telling our stories, because at the end there are stories that need to be told, and those stories actually are going to put our country on the map. But if we don't have support, then there's a problem. So filmmakers right now are on a mission, women and men, to actually have other ways of telling their stories. It doesn't matter how or where they get the money from. We are geared to even use our money. I was very impressed when I heard the story of Claire, actually, that she used the money that she won to actually produce the story. So I think her case or her story will inspire other filmmakers to actually, do everything to make sure that their stories are told and in a way that is, yeah.
We've often heard from local filmmakers that distribution is a problem when it comes to getting people to see their films, because often when they're looking for funding for the next project, potential funders will say, oh, but how many people have seen your previous film?
Yes.
Do you feel that festivals like your own help to give a platform to filmmakers who find it difficult to get their films in front of big enough audiences?
Yeah, actually distribution is a challenge all over the world. But we are actually, the reason why we started this festival was to actually give an opportunity to filmmakers who has been struggling to distribute their films by inviting distributors all over the world, from South Africa and some from like other countries. So this festival is geared, or like was started to ensure that films are exhibited all over the world. And as I speak to you, there are like around 3 distributors who are already coming to the festival. And we've been creating relationships with mostly the North America, you know, and our goal is simple. We want our stories to travel. But the challenge behind it is that these stories, for them to travel, they need to be creative enough and be like commercially viable. So it is a challenge that needs a collective effort to make sure that our stories are distributed, because they can be distributors, but if our stories are not enough, you know, good enough, high quality,
or are not hitting a relevant tone with audiences abroad as well. And now, just in closing, the festival is taking place in Port Shepstone from Friday the 24th until Sunday the 26th. It must do quite a bit of good in terms of tourism and just some economic development in that area that desperately needs it as well. Yeah,
actually, if I can give a little bit statistics on that. The festival, when it started, actually, no one believed that area something can happen. But now, as I speak to you, there are a lot of people who are coming there in the area to actually invest in studios. They're looking at actually producing films there. And even our local authorities now, the South Coast Tourism and the Ugu municipalities, they are now opening a film office because of the hype that is being created by the festival since it started. So, and as another thing that happened was, in 2016, I invited some people from Thailand. And when they came here, they liked our culture. Then they actually suggested that we produce a film together. So this film is called Red Cargo. And it is born. It is born from this festival, which means, actually, I can say there's a lot that is done by the festival for the area there,
Well, we can only wish you everything of the best, and maybe soon we'll see some big budget films, and we can say, hey, that looks familiar, that must be the Ugu area in KZN.
Thank you very much.